Symphony! 35,000 strong, getting beamed around the world!
It's time to kiss and make up.
Are you ready to make some noise? All right, Melbourne! You wanted the best! You got the best! The highest band in the world! KISS! Let me hear ya! Get up and get your mind out of here!
Ace has been very unhealthy for many years. We've kept it from the public out of respect. Most importantly, Ace came to us about a year ago and started to have some misgivings about going back out on tour. You know, it's more important for us to make sure that everybody's happy. And if Ace is happier now, then, you know, that's the best thing that can happen for everybody. And, you know, we send him our love. I'm sure the fans do as well. And the band continues.
You know, Tommy is in an interesting position because he's been a part of the family for so long and has almost been, in a sense, on the bench waiting to be called into the game. You know, Tommy, when we first put the original lineup back together for the reunion tour, was the guy who sat with Ace and refreshed his memory, so to speak, of his guitar parts. Tommy is a great guitar player, a big fan of the band, and has always been a sounding board for us, whether it was working on videos with us or listening to songs or going in and doing demos or even doing sound checks on tour with us. He has always been an extension of the band.
Or let's be honest, appearing as a phantom guitar player, making believe it was Ace when Ace wouldn't show up. He played on our records as well.
So Tommy really was in the dugout, sitting on the bench, and finally we walked over and said, "You're in the game."
Tommy, in a lot of ways, is giving this band a good kick in the pants. Last show, we came back and, you know, he lambasted into me, said, "You kind of played sloppy that night." I said, "You're kidding." Going, no, there was a couple of flubs. In 100,000 years, you flubbed up here. And then the show before, he was going, you know, the singing is really not so good. And he went up to Paul and says, you know, your part was a little flat. I'm going, really? The new kid down the block is telling the guys, but you know what? It's good because we should all be on our toes and every show counts. And if we have pride in what we do, it's good to have a guy like Tommy in the band. You have to have this kindred spirit with anybody you're on stage with, the sense that you're all in the same army, the same team. So some of the initial moments of getting into the same room with members of the symphony were to simply go around, pat everybody on the back and, you know, get the cute girls' phone numbers and just sort of make friends and get used to the idea that we're all going to have, number one, an awful lot of fun, and also please roll up your sleeves because it's going to be an awful lot of work.
Lift up your skirt, whatever. You know, some people were patting backs. I went around and found some butts.
Going on. It's great to have you here in the full makeup, but I was one of the many who went to the big farewell tour last year. What's this? What is going on? Come clean, boys.
Seriously, you know, we did this farewell tour with the best of intentions because we thought it was time to say goodbye. And when we had everybody saying don't go, that was one thing. And then when we had the Melbourne Symphony and some of the distinguished people here ask us to come back and do this concert, it's just so spectacular and so off the wall. It's like a perfect meeting of black tie and black leather. So it will be groundbreaking and ground shaking.
So, Gene, tell us a little bit about the KISS Symphony. What's it going to entail?
Well, the KISS Symphony is going to be deadly serious, and we're deadly serious about it. See how that makes sense? These are semantics, but I'm not anti-semantic. I'll just keep going. This is going to take place on February the 28th at your wonderful stadium here, right here in Melbourne. 50,000 people who are going. Each of them are going to have a seatbelt, because what we're going to do is we're going to combine the best of classic KISS with a classic symphony orchestra. 60 people playing violins and cellos in our makeup. Now we're very serious about this.
Will there be fights over who wears what makeup?
No.
Between us, yes.
Oh, okay.
It really is so challenging because we're going to try to do the show in 3 parts. And the 3 parts, hi, I'm over here. But seriously, the 3 parts are going to be, the first part we're going to come out and play as you're used to hearing us, just kind of, kicking a lot of booty. And then after that, we'll do an unplugged segment, and we'll bring out maybe a string quintet and do a few songs, and then we'll go to intermission and then bring out the symphony orchestra for the symphonic sonic boom. I've heard that Mozart and Beethoven are both coming.
Just after the new year, in 2003, I got a call from Doc McGee. KISS was going to Australia to perform with a symphony orchestra, and it was going to be recorded for a CD and DVD. They wanted me to play. Jesus, it just doesn't end with these guys, I thought to myself. I had heard that Paul had been divorced after the farewell tour, and his wife had taken him to the cleaners. I hung up after Doc gave me the whole pitch, and I thought, wait a minute, these guys just ripped me off for millions of dollars. We were feuding. Gene is calling me names in the press. Our fans had probably flipped out reading so much shit from Gene. Yes, no, I love him, I hate him. Then my lawyer called me. He told me that they were going to give me 25% of the proceeds from the album and DVD. I was going to make pretty much what they were making. Now that was great. That album could sell. And the idea of playing with a 60-piece orchestra hooked me right there. I would have paid my own money to go and play with 60 people. So the deal was sounding better and better. Then I heard that David Campbell, the great conductor whose son is Beck, was conducting. So this was the chance of a lifetime for me.
How hard is it to get the band back together for any kind of gig?
Nightmare.
Peter's here. Peter's here, and that's a momentous occasion.
I had to come back. I had to see you guys. It's great to be here.
We missed you for the farewell tour. So it's good to have you back.
I would not miss this for anything. This is going to be great, as Paul said. It's going to be really, really cool. And so you better buckle up.
Yeah, it's something that's never been done before. Some people say, well, there have been rock bands that have played with symphony orchestra.
We rehearsed in LA. I was having a great time playing my drums with 20 percussion guys banging away around me. I was well oiled from the tutoring. Every fill had to be precise. Every hit had to be precise. Everyone was feeding off the drums. I was so up for playing. And then Gene reared his ugly head. We were arguing about something, and I casually said, look, what does it matter? As long as I'm getting my 1/4 of the album, it'll all be good. What? Gene said. I'm getting an even share for this album, I repeated. You are getting nothing for this album. You are getting a paycheck. Over my dead body will you see 1 fucking dime from this record, he pronounced. I went into shock. I called my lawyer, and he assured me that I would be getting 25%. Of course, eventually, I didn't see a fucking dime from the record. I had been ripped off again. I even got screwed at the show. Gene and Paul arranged everything for their benefit, so they gave Beth the wrong slot in the set and only gave me 13 pieces instead of the full 60-piece complement. But I did enjoy playing that show.
I don't know where we
But
are.
I mean, it must be strange for you guys when you meet someone like... I witnessed that backstage.
Or meeting Anthony Hopkins.
Well, because you guys, to me, you're probably some of the biggest names in the entertainment, in showbiz industry. And
I
for
like
you to,
him.
Well,
and
you
for
are
you
right.
and for you guys to see Anthony Hopkins and go, oh my God, it's quite strange.
I think it's good to have heroes.
That's right.
You've got to have heroes.
When you
They're
stop
important.
having people you look up to, your head's probably gotten too big for your shoulders, and
That's the problem, is it is.
That's right.
Thankfully, I'm so short that'll never be a problem for me. Now, Gene, you're also coming back for a speaking tour that you're doing as well.
No! You speak.
Wow, you get podium.
Tomorrow we're all flying back to America because Paul and I are
Because-
going to be the Grand Marshals at the National Hot Rod Association in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And 3 days after that, I'm flying right back.
And we're not coming.
I've been up and down, I've been all around. I was mystified, almost terrified. Late at night, I still hear
what we found was that this concert had to be done almost like a trapeze act without a net. We didn't get any great long rehearsals. It really was a meeting of two different worlds. And we really did fly by the seat of our pants in watching KISS Symphony on DVD. Once in a while, if you notice David Campbell, when he's turning around to get a cue from the band, he looks like a deer in the headlights. You know, these eyes are just huge because we really were taking such a huge chance. But at least for KISS, it's always been no guts, no glory. So great things come from taking great chances. But that being said, there is sheer terror once in a while on people's faces, and it's wonderful to watch afterwards, after something succeeds, and realize how much we put on the line. Well, we knew that we weren't going to have an opening act, so we had to build this into more than simply the main event, so to speak. In a boxing match, you have the undercards, and in a sense, if this were a boxing match, we were our own undercard. And I think in all great theater, you build, where you think it's as good as it's going to get, it goes up one level. I think that we were intent on making KISS Symphony, the pinnacle of the evening, and yet making sure that everything that came before it was equally good in one sense or the other, or probably better than what most bands would do. Well, when you saw the kids come for dress rehearsal, they were just, their eyes were sparkling, and they were the innocence that maybe some of us have lost. But the anxiousness and the anticipation of doing it, the wonderment was all over their faces. And, the beauty of the DVD for the KISS Symphony is that you can see that on their faces through the makeup, through the war paint, this state of just euphoria of being on stage, singing for 40,000 people is something they probably will never do again, certainly never dress the way they were. But it was a really amazing event on all levels.
And the kids, the Australian Children's Choir, after Great Expectations, they wouldn't leave the stage. It was time for them to leave. Paul actually went, "Okay, good night. Well, see you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye." And you have to physically go over there and shoo him off the stage, because also it's that deer in the headlights routine. When you see an entire nation out there in KISS makeup, it's a stadium full of people who are going out of their minds. You're not centered. You don't know where you are, and the massive size of the stage, incidentally, and the amount of power and the fireworks, and just you're in the middle of it, and for a second your feet are stuck to the ground. You're not aware.
When people are in the audience, they always comment, "My God, I was 30 rows back and I felt the heat from the flames." Here was an orchestra and 30 kids that were just this side of being roast.
One thing that's been consistent about KISS, every time we've come back, surprisingly, there's usually been a lineup change for one reason or another. And this is no different. But the fact is that when we arrive, it's KISS, and it's always at our best. And this time is going to be no different. We've got Tommy, who's deserved.
Tommy Thayer joining the group for this tour?
This is a time to celebrate the people who are here, not the people who aren't here. This is about KISS continuing, not about getting steeped in why people aren't here. We respect everybody for not being here, but like your football teams, we got to move on forward. And
I'm just stoked to be here. It's amazing, especially something on this level with the orchestra and everything. It's mind-boggling, and I'm just stoked to be here.
And you've been in there and you've rehearsed with the orchestra.
Yeah,
already?
we were in there today, and rehearsal was remarkable. And we're just, it's such a monumental thing, and it's going to be great.
I just love the fact that all... Oh, sorry, Gene.
That's all right. If you do it again, I'll kill you. You know,
Should we mention the maestro? We should mention.
we will.
yes,
That's a very
we should,
important
right?
thing. Please.
Yes,
we
you
should
know,
mention
David
it.
Campbell?
Yes.
David
Yeah,
Campbell.
Absolutely.
You know, when we were...
My heart was racing to think, man, like I was going to play with the Melbourne Symphony. I had a lot of like anxiety, man, but it was a good anxiety.
Take us to a more bombastic level. What we've done.
When we came out of Customs, I was blown away by the fan response, especially towards me. I mean, I was the new guy in town, and everyone made me feel welcome immediately. It was cool.
That are just, lethal. I mean,
We were a bit jittery. We weren't exactly sure what this KISS Symphony would actually sound like. We knew what we sounded like. We knew what a symphony orchestra would sound like. But we didn't have a clue what it would sound like together.
Which we recorded with, and now it's the real deal. And I'm
Fantastic.
like, wow.
So is this going to be the first time Beth is performed with the full string?
Yeah.
Wow.
Talk about being nervous. Oh, God.
When it all began, there was a moment of insanity where somebody came up with the idea that KISS, of all bands, would work with a world-class symphony orchestra.
KISS and symphony aren't two words necessarily that go together, but in very short order, it was very clear that we were all here for one thing and one thing only. Both the symphony and KISS would get together and create something big and something bombastic. Don't we look great? Come on, look at that.
You look fantastic.
When we asked Reebok to send us Terry Tate, some people thought we were crazy. But I'm a firm believer in paradigm breaking, outside the box thinking. He fits right in here. To be honest, I wish Reebok sent us 10 Terry Tates.
You want to play games, Gene? Well, when it's game time, it's pay time, baby. Woo!
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
We're gonna help him escape.
Nemo, don't give up.
Your dad's been fighting the entire ocean looking for you.
I'm coming, Nemo. I never knew my father.
Come on, group hug.
On May 30th,
Oh, my stomach.
No hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
you've got to see it
Charge!
to believe it.
Nice.
Finding Nemo.
Everybody hold on!
Fans and everyone, you have to remember this all your life.
That's tipped, and that's a fifth pick of the game by Dwight Smith. And again, Dwight Smith is going to take it down the sideline into the end zone. Wow. Just as I'm learning that Dexter Jackson has been named the most valuable player of the game for his 2 picks, Dwight Smith gets his second and his second touchdown. I'm going to teach you the meaning of pain.
You like pain? Try wearing a corset.
Here they come.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse of the Black Pearl.
I may have deserved that.
KISS Alive 4, a 3-part extravaganza of the hottest band in the world, playing an unforgettable night of KISS classics with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. KISS Symphony Alive 4. Over 90 minutes of music on 2 CDs for only $24.98. Plus, order now and you'll get a limited edition Symphony Alive 4 poster. Hear the world's most exciting live band as they deliver an incredible night of their biggest hits, including Strutter, Deuce, Lick It Up, Love Gun, Beth, Rock and Roll All Night. To order KISS Symphony Alive 4 and the exclusive poster, have your credit card ready and call the number on the screen or log on to MusicSpace.com. Poster free with paid order. Call now. Rush delivery available.
Trying to win it all again. Posada, slow roller right side. Beckett picks it up. tags Posada, and the Florida Marlins are world champions. The Marlins celebrate.
The KISS Symphony story began 3 months before the concert. We sat down with our conductor, David Campbell, to see how we could combine the music of KISS and the symphony orchestra.
The cool thing was that he understood just innately and instinctively that the idea here was not to wimp out KISS with an orchestra, but to pump it up and to maybe give an orchestra teeth it never had before.
Everyone's playing a lot. So we're starting with God of Thunder.
The first time I heard the symphony play was like you get reassured about something and you feel real good about it. That's how I felt when I heard them.
That's very good.
David proved that our imagination could become reality, that KISS could in fact become KISS Symphony. Once we got started, there was still some tension in the air. We were still really just checking each other out.
There was really the sense of two worlds colliding, but we really believed that impact would lead to something unknown and spectacular.
Rock and roll. 3, 4.
Sure enough, as soon as we started playing, our worst fears were met head on. We weren't playing with the orchestra, or the orchestra wasn't playing with us. It didn't matter, but we weren't playing together.
It was clear we weren't synchronized. They were feeling it one way, we were certainly feeling it another. Oh, you think it's me not locked in with the orchestra and everybody else is locked in?
Well, everybody is a contributing factor, no?
It seems as if we're in sync here.
Did it feel like it was getting faster? Or did we not start?
I don't think we're in sync together. It seems like you guys are in sync with yourselves. We're playing with Peter, and it somehow doesn't seem to lock.
Okay, I wasn't wearing my headphones, so sometimes I couldn't hear the band so well. That was...
How about we get a small camera and put a little monitor so Peter can watch you?
My main point was I didn't think we were synced.
Let's just do it again. Do it again.
And it was very clear that we'd have to turn our instruments down. So in a real way, we would actually have to be listening to somebody else. Usually, we just listen to each other. The anticipation of meeting people we'd never seen before, let alone coming all the way from the States, was exciting and unsettling, because what normally might take months of preparation had to happen in about 3 days. The orchestra had only seen the music that day.
You'd see this orchestra that was used to playing Beethoven, Mozart, Schubert, Schumann, and on and on and on, and here they are playing God of Thunder. It was so surreal, and yet it was so right.
As the rehearsals progressed, it was very clear that the band was getting jazzed. I mean, we were starting to face each other and do moves.
When we started to get into the groove and gel, and the orchestra was getting into the groove and gelling with us, you could see us all moving as one big force.
In point of fact, everybody seemed a lot more confident. We were starting to look at each other, and we were starting to feel, maybe we can pull this off. And the symphony orchestra was actually starting to smile. They were actually starting to shake their heads like, yeah, wow, that's cool. The night before the show, we had a full-scale production rehearsal at the stadium. Up until then, we had 2 short rehearsals with the orchestra, And now we had only one chance to combine that with all the elements of what we normally do.
We know what it takes to make a great KISS show, not only for us, but for our fans, and preparation is everything. Time wasn't on our side, but that's the challenge we intended to face head on.
I was watching when the members of the symphony orchestra actually came into the stadium. I could see them get more excited by the minute as they entered something they'd never thought they'd ever be in, something so big.
Here they are, fledgling rock stars, looking around and going, you know something? This ain't half bad. I think I'll take it.
Let me tell you about the members of the Melbourne Symphony. They were so cool. The guys at percussion let me touch their stuff. The bass player, there was some bass player there, clicked with him like magic. This guy was so sweet. So I was feeling very in tune with these guys. They really let me in to, I'm sure, a private circle.
When we walked into the Telstra Dome, the orchestra was already up on stage rehearsing, and it was the most ominous, awe-inspiring thing I've ever heard. Couldn't wait to get my guitar on and get up on stage.
Here we were sharing something that few would ever get to experience. The adrenaline rush was amazing, but the uncertainty remained. We weren't sure where this was going to take us.
When there's 60 guys up there doing a sound check with you, it's a better sound check than usual. Sound check went great, which gave me a good feeling about, man, the show's going to be better. So I went back to my room that night after the sound check. I kind of lay in bed and went, ooh, baby, this is going to be good.
Now this is where things really become fun. There's really nothing better than getting dressed up in KISS costumes, KISS makeup, and then getting on stage in front of 40,000 people at the Telstra Dome. I know the orchestra was really looking forward to this.
I think because David's face is so different that you don't realize it's actually Gene's makeup, but on David's face, he kind of looks like a spooky mouse or something.
Tomorrow morning as you wake up and stuff.
Excellent, thank you. To put an entire symphony orchestra into KISS makeup would have to be done very, very fast. You're talking about 60 to 70 people that had to be put into full KISS makeup in under 2 hours. So KISS stencils were made for the event. We brought in airbrush artists.
And when everybody got together, there was a sense of purpose, camaraderie, and a take-no-prisoners attitude that could only add up to the kind of event that was about to unfold.
A complete culture shock. Well, we're used to working not in small spaces, but in completely acoustic halls, and now to actually just pluck our instruments and fill the entire Telstra Dome is a shock.
So Dave, would you
There we go.
This is Gene.
This is Gene.
How many white faces have we got? You want me to start on makeup or white faces? The white faces.
Just seeing all the guys, seeing the lineup with the orchestra will be sensational.
Rock and roll! This can't be the end, you know. I mean, I'm only young, so I thought, you know, I want to see them for another 20 years.
I think we should probably do more in MSA concerts like this.
And everyone's been really positive about it, and I think it's actually brought the orchestra together a lot more.
And the music's good.
Yeah, the music's really well arranged.
And good to play.
David Campbell gets the medal for service beyond the call of duty. I mean, here's a guy who wrote these amazing charts for us and then became the coach and the team leader for basically a bunch of babes in the woods. Classical musicians who didn't know what they had gotten themselves into, but bravely were planning to go where no man had gone before. Certainly not dressed the way they were.
I remember he'd give them pep talks through the rehearsals and pep talks right before they went up on stage. He told them they didn't just play great, that they were great.
I know a thing or two about her. I know she'll only make you cry. She'll let you walk the street without her. But when she rolls, she'll pass you by. Everybody says she's looking good, and the lady knows it's understood. Come on, start her. If I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys have been playing, but we just can't find a sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear them calling. Oh, Beth, what can I do? Beth, what can I do? Your backstage pass, black sunglasses, make you look just like a queen. Even the mess on your face, from over the magazines. But do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? I mean, I do love. Really love me? I wanna know. Do you love me? Share me tonight, what's left us forever. Forever, we think and then go home. But you know me very well, and I know you. You can tell me goodnight. Say goodnight. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. You keep saying you'll be my for a while. You're looking fancy, I like your style. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You show us everything you've got. Oh, baby, baby, it's quite a lot. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy.
KISS hit the streets of New York to promote their latest release, KISS Symphony, A Live Fall, which was recorded here in Australia with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra.
A lot of people don't realize it's one of the top 10 classical orchestras in the world, and it was this wonderful meeting of black tie and black leather.
Only the Beatles and the Stones have more gold records than KISS. That's unbelievable. If you take a look at the KISS Symphony in terms of statistics, how about this? 5 miles of electrical wiring covering the stage. I mean, it's ridiculous.
When all was said and done and we were back home in New Jersey, I told my wife Gigi, I can't do this anymore. I want nothing to do with these guys. Look at all the people they drove mad. Poor Eric Carr. The guy who first replaced me was reduced to sitting in his hotel room naked with the blinds all drawn, drinking and refusing to come out. Bill O'Corn lost his whole empire on drugs. Sean went crazy. Howard Marks died a drunk. Neil Bogart died. They drove Mark St. John and Vinnie Vincent crazy. The list could go on and on. There was no way in hell that I would ever tour with those guys again. And then Doc called. I didn't want to talk to him, so I put Gigi on. They were going to go out on tour again, and they wanted me to come out. Gigi started negotiating with Doc. He told her that they had tried to get Aerosmith to go out with them, but it had fallen through, so this wouldn't be a big tour. They talked back and forth for a while until finally our lawyer told us that Doc didn't want Gigi to call him anymore. He would only negotiate with the lawyer. "You've got to do this," my lawyer told me. "You can walk away after this and retire." I don't know why I believed this guy. They had gotten the better of him on the Australian negotiations. I still didn't know who owned my Catman makeup and what had happened to it. But Doc and my lawyer worked out a new contract based on this being a small cities tour. I was in LA rehearsing when Gigi and I went to Paul Stanley's birthday party at his house. Everyone there seemed to be ecstatic. Gene and Paul were smiling from ear to ear, already counting their money. Gigi started talking to some guy from Cleveland who seemed to be in the know, and he told her that Tommy Thayer was going to play on the tour. She was dumbfounded, and she came right over to tell me. I was furious. I had been told by Doc that Ace was going to be playing. Then we got more news. We were sitting in the veranda area with Paul and his new girlfriend when Doc came over. "What happened, Doc?" Paul asked, as if it was for our benefit. "How'd the phone call go?" "I just got off the phone with Brian," Doc said, all smiles. "We just signed the deal with Aerosmith." I grabbed Gigi's hand and clenched it so hard I thought I would break it. Gigi had to restrain me. I was ready to get up and punch that fat fuck Doc in the face. They had screwed me again. I had signed my contract after they told me that it would be a small venue tour, and they swore they didn't know who was going to be the opening act. So I had agreed to play for $10,000 a night. Now we were going to play big venues, and I was getting none of the merch and a lousy $10,000 a show. When I was back in New Jersey getting ready to go out on tour, when I got a call from Joe Perry, Aerosmith's guitar player. "Peter, we're having trouble with the tour," he said. "Ace ain't coming. But we want the real Kiss." "Can you call Ace?" Joe asked me. "Maybe you can talk him into it." It looked like the tour might fall apart. Aerosmith's drummer, Joey Kramer, didn't want to get on the same stage with us. He thought we were just buffoons. But I wasn't going to call Ace and beg him to come out on tour. As much as I felt betrayed by Ace, I still would have preferred having him play instead of Tommy Thayer. I hated playing that one show in Melbourne without Ace, and this was going to be half a year out of my life. But I bit the bullet and went back to the rehearsals. At first they had talked about the opener alternating between us and Aerosmith, but now Aerosmith decided that we were going to open every show. If Ace wasn't there, Aerosmith didn't feel that they deserved to open for an imitation of Kiss.
Together, for the first time ever, two legendary bands, one extraordinary tour. VH1 and VH1 Classic present Aerosmith and Kiss. Live. Go to VH1.com now for Aerosmith Kiss tour dates, ticket info, and everything you need.
I hated Tommy's playing. He would play Ace's leads perfectly, note for note. That was the problem. I loved the crudeness of Ace. Ace was electrifying. But Tommy played like a school teacher, perfectly precise. That's not KISS. KISS was a loose, great band. Now we're perfect all of a sudden? As disgruntled as I was, Gigi kept me focused. She had talked me into playing the tour in the first place. Babe, you're 56 years old. This is your last shot, whether it's $10,000 or $2,000. You're never going to play Madison Square Garden again. Do like Bruce Springsteen. Enjoy your glory days. Go out, enjoy the crowd, enjoy the moment, because it will be the last time you'll have your rock star moment. So I had the best time of my life playing for me, really enjoying the curtain drop and the spectacular, bombastic roar of the crowd through my headgear. If you were lucky to be at any of those last shows, it was probably the best I ever played and the best I ever sang. I really was reminded why I picked up the sticks when I was a kid. I just felt magical and wonderful. Until we hit Vegas. There I heard that Tommy Thayer was getting paid $25,000 a night. That motherfucker is not even a real member of the band and you give him more money than me, I yelled at Gene and Paul. As dysfunctional as my relationship was with Gene and Paul at the end, they were feuding just as bad. We were all eating together during the Aerosmith tour, and Gene and Paul were at each other. Why don't you guys just make up, I suggested. This is a fucking nightmare, you two guys going at it. Being around him is toxic to me, Paul said. So just stay out of this. This is between me and him. We do business together, but he's toxic. I can't be near him. Paul walked out of the room. Gene seemed genuinely hurt. I didn't know he thought I was toxic, he said. I thought he loved me. He just insulted you, I said. No, he loves me, Gene maintained. He was totally delusional. Then again, Paul could insult Gene as much as he wanted as long as they were making money together. Their relationship deteriorated to the point where Doc had to be a buffer between the two of them.
The active human body can generate up to 12,000 BTUs of body heat. Pure, precious, life-giving energy. It is unfortunate your collective, puny little minds couldn't figure out a way to harness this energy, put it to good use somehow. But that's beside the point. The point is, to keep generating all that energy, your body needs to be replenished. So, drink your Powerade. We have quotas to meet.
It's time to play. Right now, save up to $12 off with coupons from CVS. Six Flags New England. It's playtime.
And now there's a new form of cyber matchmaking, college networking websites. Is this perhaps the next big thing? In Hartford, Dan Stillman, co-creator of Wesleyan University's westmatch.com, and then in Watertown, Massachusetts, Mark Zuckerberg, creator of Harvard's thefacebook.com. If somebody was to put the question to you about the magnitude of what you think you've launched, how big do you think your product or your service is?
Well, it's impossible to tell. When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people. Harvard didn't have a Facebook, so that's the gap that we were trying to fill. And now we're at 100,000 people, so who knows where we're going next. We're hoping to have many more universities by the fall, hopefully over 100 or 200.
If you want to kill Harry, you'll have to kill us too.
Only one would die tonight. Harry Potter and the Prisoner Prisoner of Azkaban.
Expecto Patronum!
Choose your music.
Choose your team.
Choose to be different.
Choose to be independent.
Choose to
One day of destruction. 8 a.m. Boxing Day 2004. A major earthquake off Sumatra triggers a tsunami. Hardest hit were Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India and Thailand. 227,000 lives were lost.
In May of 2004, KISS was going to tour again, starting first in Australia and Japan. I was still under contract to them, but I hadn't heard from them one way or the other. Finally, the afternoon that my contract was set to expire, I got a call from Paul. "You know, your contract runs out today," he said. "Yeah, I did notice that," I said. "You didn't seem too healthy that last tour, Peter. You were coughing a lot. The corporation thinks that it might be for your benefit that you don't go out on the road again." The corporation? The guy didn't even have the balls to take responsibility. He had to hide behind the corporation? Plus, I was coughing because night after night I'd inhale all that smoke from the bombs. Yet they were so concerned that they didn't do anything about it until Gigi complained to Aerosmith's people, who were pissed off because the smoke was affecting Steven Tyler's throat. "The corporation just thinks it's better for both of us that you don't come out," Paul continued. "You're not that young anymore." "Yeah, I was young enough the last 7 years when I made them very wealthy men." Paul just relished calling me directly so he could personally cut my throat and taste the blood. Now they could rehire Eric and have Thayer imitate Ace and pay them peanuts. Good riddance. I was lucky not to be going on that tour. I guess the fans had the final word. In the States, they played the half-filled houses and had to cut the tour off prematurely. They were losing a lot of money. It wasn't like I was just waiting on pins and needles for them to call me. I had finally begun working on my new solo album. The original band is over, and as a founding member, I am not shocked at Gene and Paul turning a legendary band into a cover act for just plain profit. How very sad. But the crazy thing is, the fans will still follow, because they are the real heart of KISS. I was proud to be a part of something that was once great. God bless, and goodbye to that part of my life.
When we first started, we planned on taking over the world. We had this vision of world domination, but when you actually achieve it, it's daunting. You know, we really hoped for 5 years at best. When it became 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, when you reach a point where you're doing this KISS Rock the Nation DVD 30 years on, it's really a testament to the fact that we are not recreating the past as much as really paving the way and continuing to stake our claim to the top of the mountain.
This is from a DC concert last year. Why that concert? And was it a mix of classic KISS and newer songs?
We've been together longer than most countries have been around. And I mean that very nicest way. Look, this could have been any concert on that tour. We're having a ball. Every day we get up on that stage, there's a sense of pride. Yes, there's arrogance. Yes, there's cockiness. But this is serious stuff. We take ourselves seriously because we know 20,000 people pay their hard-earned money to come and see us.
Is it daunting? Is it intimidating to come back after when you take a break, to come back and know that the expectations are so extremely high?
We are of America. America decides what it's all about. The world speaks louder than one guy who wasn't lucky with the girls growing up in school and then decided to sit down and write for a living. We're about them. We're about getting up on stage and making sure we rock the house. And of course, we'll go back to the hotel for the encores.
When people come to see my house, and it's rather large, I say this is the house that Bad Reviews built. And so be it, but the people speak volumes. And those are the people who have held us in this high, lofty position for 30 years. And guess what? We're not leaving.
Is there anyone out there that you just think is rock and roll and you really love to listen to them and you think they've got it?
Arrogance and delusional self-belief is part of being a champion. There are a lot of little boys running around making a lot of little noise. We welcome everybody on that stage. We don't care how long you've been around. The Stones, U2, dig Elvis up from the ground. You come up, play with us. We'll show you how to do it right.
You wouldn't go into public without the makeup on. Did you ever get sick of putting it on? I know I get sick of putting it on.
I woke up this morning and said, "You're looking damn good," and I figured I'm just going to come in here looking like this. But the truth is that the image of KISS is so strong. Why confuse it or dilute it? We always wanted to maintain that image so that no matter where you go to this day, around the world, if you see the four faces, those iconic images are burned into everybody's psyche. You know who KISS is.
Do you think the music industry has changed, though?
Totally. But I think the music industry is a place now that doesn't nurture new acts. And if you don't sell on your first album or if you don't sell on your first single, they let you go. It's a much tougher life out there. And it's also, it makes, with the media being what it is, and MTV and all the music outlets, means that bands around the world become much more similar. You know, and I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. It almost becomes incestuous. When everybody is, in a matter of speaking, mating with each other, you wind up with a whole lot of cross-eyed people.
What's been the highlight thus far of your career? The one thing you look back and think, that was it, that was cool.
We've broken attendance records held by the Beatles and Elvis and all that stuff. By the way, if it sounds like we're boasting, we're proud. This humble stuff doesn't fly. Either it's true or it's not.
He's beginning to sound more and more like a wrestler, I swear. You know, I'm listening to this.
KISS is my work, and it's spectacular and rewarding work in so many ways, but there is room for a life outside the band. Every week I spend on the road is a week I don't spend with the people who matter most in the world to me. Those 7 days are more precious to me now than ever before. After I married Erin, I began to put parameters on what I was willing to do and who I was willing to spend time with. There would be no compromises. Life was too short for that. KISS isn't life. It's a facet of life. At times when Doc came to us with proposals for things, I began to say, I'd rather be home. Gene was always puzzled by this. You're going to say no to money? He would ask in utter disbelief. Yeah, I said. The question is, what's more money going to get me, and what will I have to give up to get it? For him, it was simple. As Doc jokes, when Gene is 95 years old, he'll be standing at the end of his driveway with his walker, flicking his tongue at passing cars. We all deserve to find happiness, and I hope Gene does, now and in the future. But to me, there's more to life. The money I lose by not doing a show won't change my world, but being away from my family will. I weigh one against the other. How much do I need? Sure, I'd always like to have more. Who wouldn't? But I don't need more if the sacrifice is too great. Not just to my wife and kids, but to me. Sometimes what I would miss out on isn't worth the money. My children turned out to be the ultimate resolution to issues that plagued me my entire life. You can't change your past, but you can change your life and the lives of those around you. I've come to terms with things about myself that I had to wrestle with, and as a result, I have more to give, because I know myself more. Having children allowed me a second chance at the childhood I never had. It's cathartic to raise my kids in a loving and nurturing way that I myself never knew. I've been able to give my kids the life I didn't have by treating them the way I wished I had been treated, by helping them feel the way I wished I had felt. Maybe not everyone is affected in the same way by what a family and a deep relationship can offer. As the things I missed most in life until very late, they mean the world to me. Truly sharing with somebody, baring your soul to someone, having someone know your vulnerabilities and weaknesses and fears, and doing the same for that person, offers a calm and a sense of refuge that no hotel, no matter how luxurious, can rival.
Even though standing behind me is what you would call a super group, I do not believe that is good enough this evening. What I need is a greater super group that ever walked the face of the earth. And in order to do that, I need one more guitar player. I need a man who is from outer space, and that man is Mr. Ace Frehley.
A few weeks after my mother's death, I got the news that KISS was being honored by VH1 as part of the network's first Rock Honors award show in Las Vegas. I wasn't sure what role I would play in the ceremony, since Tommy Thayer had been wearing my makeup and costume and performing with KISS. I remember Ed Trunk calling me up and saying, "I can't believe those guys. That's your award. You were a co-founder of the band, and you designed the spaceman makeup and costume." I wasn't sure what to think as I told Ed, "Well, I guess I'll be getting a call from Paul or Gene." The phone never rang. So Ed came up with the idea for me to play with an all-star band that was also performing on the show. At the time, I was a little reluctant to even go to Las Vegas for the taping without a formal invitation from KISS. But Ed convinced me. "You have to go, Ace. Don't let them get away with it. They're always trying to make it seem like you never existed. Fuck them." So I agreed and booked a flight to LA and started rehearsals with Slash, Gilby Clarke, Scott Ian, and Tommy Lee. We rehearsed a couple of days and then jumped on a private jet and were flown to Las Vegas by VH1. There was a lot of excitement revolving around the show. In addition to KISS, Def Leppard, Judas Priest, and Queen were being honored. When I arrived on the set, I realized that it was a much bigger deal than I had anticipated. As usual, Eddie had given me the right advice. I was still wondering why I never got a call from Paul or Gene concerning the show, but I really didn't want to think about it. I just pretended that everything was fine. When I saw the guys from KISS, I greeted them like nothing had ever happened, posed with them for a few pictures, and acted like we were long-lost friends. The truth, though, is that I started feeling ill about the whole production and how my contribution to KISS was again being minimized. I'd been sober for some time, but before the show, I started feeling even more anxious, and when Slash offered me a drink backstage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't want to feel my emotions anymore and was still very upset about my mother's passing. Rob Zombie joined us on lead vocals, and together we performed a kick-ass version of God of Thunder. Right before the show, I suggested to Slash we throw in the riff from Led Zeppelin's Bring It On Home between our guitar solos, and he agreed. It blew my mind that we pulled it off flawlessly, in harmony, without any prior rehearsal. That was a rush. The show progressed. Eventually, KISS played a few songs. I wondered if they felt strange during their performance, knowing I was watching their every move. We all posed together at the end of the show for the press, and then it was over. I went back to my hotel suite knowing I had lost my sobriety, and even though I wanted to blame KISS or my mom's passing away, I knew deep in my soul it was my own fault. Later I heard from Slash, who apologized for handing me my first drink. He was feeling somewhat guilty since he had also struggled with addiction, but I assured him that I was planning on getting fucked up anyway, and if it hadn't been him, it would have been someone else. As of today, I haven't had a drink or any opiates or tranquilizers since September 15th, 2006.
All my feelings of love and pride for KISS were amplified by starting to tour with Tommy and Eric as permanent members. I quickly realized that I would rather not perform any more than have to deal with people I didn't want to be around. I could never go back to the drama, the lowered standards, the disrespect for the craft. It would be whoring myself. It was amazing to have people in the band whose mentality was, what can I do to make the band bigger? Instead of, what can I do to make myself bigger? But if you make the latter your priority, it doesn't work. With Ace and Peter, that's the way it was. With Tommy and Eric, there was a work ethic. And it started with taking pride in what they did individually and what we did as a team. Of course, a certain segment of the audience didn't want the reunion era to be finished. People occasionally dismissed Eric and Tommy as imposters. But when I stood on stage with them, I had the opposite impression. If anyone had been imposters, it was Peter and Ace during the reunion tours. Whatever ability those guys may once have had was long gone, or rather, long discarded. They were a distortion of anything they had ever been. With apologies to anyone who doesn't want to hear it, Ace and Peter simply couldn't play their instruments by the end, and they didn't care, which in my mind was perhaps an even bigger sin. If people want to talk about seeing the band as a meal ticket, they can't point at me or Gene. We were already eating well. Only Peter and Ace treated KISS as a meal ticket, and even then they couldn't recognize their good fortune sufficiently enough to punch it. The new lineup of the band was much more the band as I envisioned it, and the way people heard it in their minds. I always wanted the audience to feel that we surpassed their expectations, and it had been a long time since we had been able to do that. With Tommy and Eric, we did it. The band could sing so well, in fact, that people constantly asked whether we used pre-recorded background vocals. Nope. We just finally had 4 strong band members. Through all of this, KISS wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Once I rekindled my friendship with Bill Aucoin, he continued to come to occasional concerts. I loved the fact that we had both come to terms with personal demons. I loved where we both had ended up, both in stable relationships and peaceful mental states. In a way, I found with Bill what I wasn't able to find in the band reunion. We were able to bring things full circle, put things to rest, and look back and enjoy what we had created together. Then over lunch in Florida one afternoon, he told me he had advanced stage prostate cancer. I asked what I could do to be helpful, and Bill told me he worried about his partner, Roman, and what would happen to him if Bill lost his battle. I talked to Gene, and we decided to buy the condo they were living in and give it to Roman.
If it was for the fans, for KISS fans, then Ace and I would be up there. We'd be playing right now. And of course, yeah, the minute the Benjamins come into scene, I see, to me, the cancer, I call it. I don't pray to money, I pray to God. I love people, you know me. I don't get up and have to think about how could I make another buck. They got a lot of money, these guys, but yet, you're right, it should have definitely ended on the farewell. I would have been happy to walk away with my head held high and said, man, we did the best we did. We left with our heads held high. We did the Garden, sold out 4 nights. You know, we did Tiger Stadium. We did all this greatness, and at least we left with class, and we left with pride. I felt, you know, to me, it's a cover band. It's not KISS. You know, it's really just not. And you got, you know, nothing like you said. I think Eric's a great guy. He's a good drummer. But as far as Tommy goes, I see a guy who used to order my food after my concert to what I want to eat when I'm done playing, who, as far as I'm concerned, paid no dues, paid nothing compared to what we paid to our career, as far as what Ace and I and Gene and Paul went through with the ridicule and the no airplay, and you know, got thrown off the shows and eventually almost got thrown off the label. You know, I mean, no one liked us back in the day. We really paid our dues to who we were today and who we are today. This guy is now my road manager, ordering my plate of spaghetti after a concert. Next minute I'm looking over and he's wearing literally Icons boots. You know, it ain't Ace. And I'm looking over every night, looking at this guy waving the guitar around, playing Ace's leads, Ace's licks, acting like Ace, becoming Ace, being Ace. You know, be careful what you wish for, you might get it. He always wanted to be him. Well, now he's him. I couldn't buy This Is the Official guitarist. Ace put more blood, sweat, and tears into this band than anybody else will, because he's an original member, a founding member of KISS, and so am I. If anybody has a right to knock him, we do. I do. But to go up there with a road manager, yeah, I think it's degrading. I think it's even wrong. The fans shouldn't even deserve that. To go backstage with an album that I recorded on that made famous and get a Tommy Thayer autograph and an Eric Singer autograph over a Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley album is wrong. It's downright wrong. And to pay money to go back and take a picture with 2 imposters and 2 originals is wrong. And I don't care what I get for this or what comes back at me. I'm talking from my heart. It's just not right for my fans.
Get back. Yeah. Yeah. Dave, not cool.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
You see my moves back there? Still got it.
I'm behind the bar and I'm serving drinks and Charlie bends over. I call, I said, Charlie, come here.
Charlie, there's a new joke going around. Have you heard it? What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
What?
Slap!
Fabio Grosso has to do, and that's all. And Grosso has done that job. The kick that means Italy win the World Cup in 2006.
Wednesday, only on ABC. Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
Do I spy a little pinstriping tattoo back there?
Oh, you saw that?
On June 9th.
What's so important about this race of yours? I've been dreaming about it my whole life.
A guy who thought he had it all is about to discover everything he's been missing.
I knowed I made a good choice. And what? My best friend.
There's a lot of love out there, you know, man.
We are back in business.
G'day, I'm Steve Irwin.
It's hard to believe he's gone. Steve Irwin was the world's most fearless wildlife presenter. Sometimes he seemed so reckless we worried for his safety. But always he survived.
No, get out of here, get.
Have you been lucky?
Yeah, very lucky I'm still alive, mate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, oh, crikey, I've been grabbed by crocs, pulled back down into the water. I've had black mambas nearly clip me on the ear, boom slang nearly take me thumb out. Mate, I've had more good luck than I could poke a stick at.
But this week, for Steve Irwin, the world's best-known Australian, luck ran out. It shocked us all that his life would be taken by a relatively docile creature, a stingray. Experts are saying that he was just too close when the ray lashed out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley for KISS. Oh, this is terrific.
We're putting on our best Halloween costumes.
You guys look great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's Halloween, so we figured we'd come down and spend a little time with some other people who know how to dress up.
Yeah, of course. This is also your first time on TRL. I see you guys looking around. Are you digging what we got going on here? You liking this stuff?
Gotta come back. Gotta come back.
I like it.
Very good.
That's right.
Very nice.
And who are you supposed to be?
David Letterman.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Kissology. Yeah, help hand them out. Hand them out to the kids. And we'll take a break. Gene and Paul are going to stick around for a little bit. In fact, during this break, you can watch more of them on our online show, trl.mtv.com. Keep your TVs on, too. It's coming up next. A new video that brought together two of rock's biggest bands, U2 and Green Day. Don't touch the dial. TRL back in a second. The cool thing about New York City, I think New York City is so Halloween-centric more than any other city in the country. We got this huge party called the Village Halloween Day Parade.
It's awesome.
And you guys, you've been, right?
Yeah, today we are going to be the Grand Marshals, and the cool thing is that this is an excuse if you need one to get your freak on. Everybody can go out and get crazy.
What are your responsibilities as the Grand Marshals of the parade?
To make sure everybody gets crazy and make sure everybody enjoys themselves. If you need an excuse, we can call it Halloween. Otherwise, you can call it life.
Beautiful. Well, the KISS float, there's a KISS float that's going to be in this parade. For the parade, it's actually right outside in Times Square right now. Let's get a shot of that. Let's take a look. Where is it? There it is right there. Lay your eyes on
Look at that.
You guys will be on that, right? You'll be
That's
on the
right.
float?
Yeah. We'll be on it, under it. We'll be any place we can.
And you see those girls? They're ours. That's right.
You are a lucky man.
KISS girls, baby.
All right. Well, what does... I believe you guys have to head outside.
We have to head out.
You have to get onto the float, right?
You betcha.
You know, the one thing everybody should realize is here we are in New York City talking about stuff, but let me tell you something.
Yes.
10 blocks from here, 23rd Street, is where KISS was born. That's where we rehearsed in the loft. 10 blocks from here.
Very nice. Very nice. The float is going to leave, by the way. The float's going to leave from here, head down to the parade in a bit. Before it goes, why don't you guys go out there, spend some time with the KISS Army. They are in full-fledged gear out there. And Lady Sovereign's performance is coming up soon, too. It's only going to get better. Premiere of the amazing video from YouTube and Green Day. Right after this. Still have a live performance from Lady Sovereign coming up. Outside in front of the giant KISS float. You can hear the cheers from the KISS Army. They're all very proud to be here. I mean, Gene and Paul are here. What do you expect, right? Along with the members of the KISS Army, you guys are so damn lucky. Look at all these ladies right here. My God.
Aren't you jealous? Don't you want to look like us too, baby? Come on, you know it.
Yeah,
David Letterman, get out of here.
I think I picked the wrong outfit, actually. Anyway, this thing's about to head over to the annual Halloween parade. It's so much fun here in New York City. We love it. Any parting words before you guys take off?
Make sure that you enjoy Halloween, but every day can be Halloween. Halloween's a state of mind. It's a good way and a good excuse to get your freak on, but do it every day.
Yeah. Gene?
You wish you were us.
All right, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. It was an honor. And have fun at the parade, you guys. I'm sure they will. Lady Sovereign performs right after the All-American Rejects number 6. It ends tonight on TLN.
One of the greatest rock and roll bands in the world, 33 years old, like the Halloween parade.
Unbelievable.
Gene Simmons, what's it like being out here as one of the grand marshals of this year's Halloween parade?
You said Paul Stanley and then you said Gene Simmons, right? He's getting mixed up because of all the sound.
It's the makeup!
It's unbelievable. I mean, I've seen this, growing up, I used to come here, but to be the grand marshals, it's unbelievable. It's like Star Wars times like 500,000.
What is it like? You're real native New Yorkers. How has this parade changed over the years that we've all been in this city?
Well, it's gotten bigger and freakier. I used to be a cab driver, and I can remember driving this area, but I'm telling you, this is as crazy as it's ever been. It's New York, you should be proud.
What does it mean to be honored as the Grand Marshals? This is the high point of your entire life.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. We came out in full regalia, and here's everybody having as good a time as us. So, for us, we just want everybody to know that Halloween can be every day of the week. It's up here. It's a state of mind.
Now, where is your partner here?
He's over there.
Well, let's grab him. Can we knock on his shoulder? Come and talk to New York One. You have never looked better in your life.
What are you dressed as?
I'm a Transylvanian shepherd.
Yeah.
What are you dressed as?
What am I dressed as? I'm dressed as an icon. The one that's on Coke bottles in France.
I didn't even know that.
You've got to do some search, kissonline.com.
There you go.
Let's see yours.
33 years. Not even close, is it?
I don't think so.
Come on.
I would stay on television if I were you.
Well, I'm pretty famous for the eyebrows, but that tongue is unmatched anywhere in the world.
Well, I don't know if it's unmatched or not, but mine has a spin and dry cycle, and it can whip up a good goddamn froth. That's right, ladies.
What does it mean to be a grand marshal of this incredible parade in the city?
Well, in all seriousness, we started a few blocks down on 8th Street and 6th Avenue at Electric Lady Studios. That's where our first album was recorded, and this is a privilege and an honor because we're New York boys. This is where we came from. You got to come back.
There you go. Couldn't be said any better under any circumstances. This is New York's parade. KISS is New York's band. They're both celebrating 33 years.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't get any better than this, John.
But it will.
That is going to be on YouTube in about 5 minutes. George Whipple, nice work.
Okay, listen up. This is important to us. You're important to us. Without you, we'd be asking the next guy in line, would you like some fries with that, okay? So this is important to us. Paul's heart was going at 200 beats a minute, 200. I had to inject him to stop his heart. And we were thinking of canceling the show because there was no way for Paul to do the show. We're here because we care about you. Before Paul left, he was on a stretcher. He said, don't let the fans down. He said, we've come too far. You guys mean too much to us. We wouldn't be here without you. So we're trying to find out what you want us to do. Would you like to go home or do you want us to try to play for you? Do you want us to rock? Okay, this is uncharted territory. We've never done this before. You're here for it. We're going to need you to help us get through this. You got it? That means we may ask some of you to come up here and help us sing the songs. Is that okay with you?
I'm Gene Simmons, rock god.
This is the Gene Simmons family jewels. What God made me, he broke all the rules.
The one who terrorized your children, the one who slept with your girlfriends.
Oh, you're gonna kill me. The legendary tongue-wagging demon of KISS, Gene Simmons, opens his doors and trots out his family. What's it all?
How are they? I mean, how are you?
Sit down. This family makes the Munsters look like the Brady Bunch.
I'll give you a bone. If that doesn't sound like a nut house, I don't know what does.
The Australian premiere, Gene Simmons, Family Jewels. Wednesday, 9:30 on Bio.
Aging rockers KISS return to Australia.
In 2008, we won a rock and roll all night.
Legendary rockers KISS have given other bands a slap in the face as they prepare to launch their world tour at Sunday's Grand Prix in Melbourne. The supergroup has called modern acts pathetic, declaring only it can generate KISSteria.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna kick your ass. And I mean that in the very nicest way.
They've been getting dressed up for 35 years. Back again to play at the Melbourne Grand Prix.
After 35 years, how comfortable are you pulling on the lycra and putting on the war paint?
The great thing about wearing lycra is that you could probably get into my outfit with me and it would still fit.
Paul Stanley, that's him too, and Gene Simmons are the original members. Watch out for Gene. He's the one with the tongue. He thinks everything of KISS and not much of others.
Rock and roll is in a pathetic state. Bands think they can get up there and just strum their guitar. Here's my new song off my downloaded thing. It's ridiculous.
They've been coming to Australia since the days of Norman Gunston.
Can we just sort this out now? Which one is the construction worker?
Do you ever get tired of this?
Are you kidding? It's like winning the lottery and then somebody asks you if you get tired of paying taxes.
They're coming to Sydney and Brisbane too.
The reason we're on stage is because you're goddamn bored and sick and tired of these bands getting up on stage and not giving you value for the buck. We're going to get up there and warning to all low-flying planes, KISS is here.
You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy.
Paul Marshall, 7 News.
Let's check tonight's sport now. Here's Pat.
Speaking of rocking, Gary, we're about to get season 2008 underway in the biggest way possible.
Look at these people.
Ladies and gentlemen,
look at them.
Shout it out as loud as you can for KISS.
Despite the fact that the new KISS lineup proved an immediate success and also had long-term durability, it wasn't clear we needed to go back into the studio. We certainly didn't need to do it for the money. And besides, the experience of Psycho Circus had left a sour taste in my mouth and totally turned me off to the idea of recording. I couldn't have articulated what exactly it would take to change my mind, but over time I began to figure out a set of prerequisites that might make it possible for me to make another KISS album. For one thing, I needed to have final say. I wasn't going to work on something I couldn't be proud of. I was through second-guessing things or being second-guessed. At least if we did something I loved, there would be one big fan regardless of what else happened. For another, I wasn't going to work on an album unless everyone put in the same amount of effort. There wasn't going to be any sense of entitlement or special treatment. Everyone would have to earn their place, and I wouldn't put up with any mediocre songs just because of a sense of job tenure. And finally, I wanted to produce any new record. The idea of needing an intermediary between me and Gene or anyone else was ridiculous. I was too old for that nonsense. If there was going to be another KISS album, it was going to be done properly without politics or ulterior motives. It was going to be great material and great playing, all brought together with a vision. I did believe that this team, Gene, Tommy, Eric, and me, could put together a really great KISS record. With the changes in the industry, we also had the chance to have total control from the songs and recording process to the marketing and distribution. And I thought it would be a shame to let Psycho Circus be our final statement. I knew that times had changed, so I had no expectations of sales at past levels. Success in my eyes would be measured in quality and realizing my own standards and expectations.
Remember the times I was lonely without her.